Welcome back to the channel, Us with Gone at 60.
Look at that hack jump!
Thank you guys for jumping in today. We're going to cover what it's been like after owning my Hyundai Elantra N 2025 for 500 miles. I'm not quite at 500 miles. I'm at 477 miles. A lot of you have been asking, Austin, what is this like to daily drive? What is it like to live with? And I hope to cover all of that in today's video. If you guys are excited about Hyundai Elantra N content, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment. Let's get into it. I know, I'm OCD. I know. Oh, yeah. Don't want to leave that on too long. And then I also have it still on my floor mat. So I'm very particular about my cars, very particular about them. All right, no particular order, guys. And honestly, I don't like to make this video this early. I'll provide updates along the way. We're barely just under 500 miles. But a lot of you are curious about this car. You want to buy this car. So hopefully maybe this might help some of you out there as you're out there kind of considering and looking at this. So none of this is in particular order. I had to make some notes because there's quite a few things and I'm going to try to go through them super fast. So let's jump into them in no particular order. And if I left something off of this video that you guys want me to cover in another video, just let me know. So the first thing, miles per gallon. So my first tank, I got 25 miles per gallon. That was 80% highway, 20% city. Was very pleased with that. And just so you know, guys, I'm still doing the break-in period. I'm not rotting the car. I'm not beating on it. I'm following the break-in procedure. My second tank, which I filled up last night, I got 19 miles per gallon. And that was 80% city, 20% highway, and a lot more idling than I would like. And so 19 is definitely not great. And I was starting to kind of get on the car a little bit. I was staying under the 4,000 RPM, but I was getting into boost more. So the miles per gallon, don't judge that. I was adjusting my stereo so the car was running and it sat idling way more than it did on its first tank. So if you average the both of those, you know, we're 22, 23. Granted, we have two polar opposites, one a lot of highway driving, one a lot of city driving. So that's what it is. Groceries, guys, I had the chance last Saturday to put groceries in this car. This trunk is massive. It is awesome. And I'll show a clip for you guys just to see all the different things that we had in there. And I also have a subwoofer in the back of this car. The trunk in this car has ample space for lots of room for activities. You're not going to be lacking from a daily driver standpoint in the amount of trunk space that you have in this car. I've also had two kids in the back seat. I've had groceries in the trunk, and it does great. So all around, from like a space perspective, daily driver, back seats, putting kids' car seats in there, putting groceries in there, hauling things in there with a subwoofer in the trunk. It did awesome. And I also took this car recently to the airport, so you guys can also see what it looked like with my luggage in the back of the car, and I had plenty of space. Now granted, I just had a small carry-on and a backpack, but you easily could fit some luggage back there. No sweat, no problem. I've also detailed a customer's car. I didn't get a video or a picture of that, but I had a vacuum in the back of the trunk. I had an air compressor. I had a bucket with all of my solutions in there. I had towels. I had extension cords. I had a steamer, and I had a wet vac, and I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but it all fit in the back of the trunk amazingly. Next thing, the ride of this car, it is a touch on the stiffer side, but not really. Nothing compared to a lot of the other cars that I've had. I've definitely had cars that were stiffer. My WRX felt a little bit stiffer than this. I'm still need more time with the car and all the different drive modes to say, hey, it's softer, hey, it's stiffer, hey, it's this. I will say the road noise in this car has actually been pleasantly not loud. Maybe that's just from some of the cars I'm used to driving. I had a Toyota GR86 and it was loud. This is a lot quieter. It's great when you're in comfort mode. It does awesome. I can't really compare it to the Golf R or anything else right now, but the road noise, very minimal in my opinion, hasn't been a problem at all. These seats, love them. Great bolstering, amazing. The heated seats in this car is awesome. It like goes almost halfway up your back, which is like really nice. My wife is like sitting in them. You got a lot of nice bolstering on them. The most I've sat in the car is probably an hour and a half. I've gone about 130 miles, 140 miles in them, and I've loved them. And the longer I sit in them, the more I like them. But depending on, you know, your height and your weight, you know, I'm 5'11". I have a little bit longer of a torso, shorter legs, weigh none of your damn business, but I'll tell you. I weigh just a little bit over 200 pounds, about 210 pounds. So depending on kind of your body composition, these seats might like you, they might not, but I've loved these seats. They've been phenomenal. Driving in traffic has been easy, very easy clutch to engage with. It's really interesting. A lot of cars have bite points that are further back. This one's like almost instant. It has taken me a minute to be a little bit smoother with this car than I have with others, but driving in traffic hasn't been fatiguing at all. The manual transmission is very easy to drive. You know, I would say it's just as easy as my Golf R, and that car was amazing to daily drive. The Golf R was one of the best daily drivers I've had on my channel, and this is right up there in my opinion. So nothing to really write home about there, but driving in traffic, it's been comfortable, it's been fine, it's been good. How does the shifter feel on the manual transmission? The shifter feel, I will give a comparison here because I've driven it enough that I feel like I can say this. The feel of the shifter is not a Honda. It will never be a Honda, but it is better than my Golf R. And it is better than a WRX stock for stock on the manual shifters. It doesn't feel rubbery, kind of like a BMW transmission, but it does have a little bit of notchiness, a little bit of click, not too much throw, and you probably could shorten it up even more and make it even more crisp, but the shifter feels great. I'm not the craziest fan of the shift knob on here, but we'll cover that in a different video. Other kind of creature comforts that maybe you guys might like, might not like. You obviously have Bluetooth in here. The Bluetooth works great. I haven't had any issues with that. I do wired Apple CarPlay because this does not have wireless Apple CarPlay. A lot of you out there, that's a big deal to you. This is a $35,000 car. You don't have that, so that might be something you need to consider of what it's like living with or not living with. The sound system in this car is actually pretty good. The Bose is good. If you are using the Bluetooth audio, you're going to lose out a lot on sound, and you're going to have to turn the volume up pretty high. But if you get on the HD radio, or if you have a wired connection, you're going to get much better sound out of the car. Some of you asked about these things, and I'm going to try to provide kind of my thoughts, and it's going to be pretty short and sweet. A lot of you asked, hey Austin, how is the power on this car? Well, I'm following the break-in procedure, and the reason I'm trying to follow the break-in procedure is in case down the road I have something that breaks. I don't know if you guys are noticing this, but a lot of manufacturers are looking to see how the cars were first driven. And yes, they can tell your driving preferences. I mean, you've seen Toyota with going over 80 miles an hour, 85, whatever it is. And I just don't want anything traced back. So have I gotten a boost? Yes, but it's below 4,000 RPM. I will say the stock exhaust on this car is probably one of the best that you can get for the price range, even comparing a Type R, WRX, Golf R, all of those. The exhaust is good, but it's not too annoying, and it's actually been really pleasant. But in terms of the power, I am starting to notice to hear a little bit more of the turbo sound. I think an intake on this car would sound amazing, but the power right now, if I just gave you a complete, like just butt dyno, my guess is it feels honestly just about as quick as my Golf R, pretty similar, definitely faster than the WRX, and it's pretty good. I'm excited about it, but I also might be in the honeymoon phase and I need more time with it to tell. A lot of you have asked me about like creaks and rattles and different stuff. I haven't noticed anything, mainly because I have the volume turned all the way up in my stereo so I can blow up my eardrums. Some truth to that, but when I am not listening to stereo loud, I haven't noticed any creaks or rattles yet or anything weird like that. If I get some, I will report them back to you, but it's worth noting my Golf R, I had some. It's worth noting my Bolt Mustang, I had some. My WRX, I had some, so just kind of normal. A couple of odd things that are just kind of things that I'm noticing, or things that I'm kind of like, that's kind of different. The cup holders in this car, you have two of them, and you have this guy that shortens it. The cup holders are extremely deep on this car, and it can work great for some things that you are, whether it's a mug or whatever, beverage that you're putting in them. I don't really care for the cup holders in this car, and I don't like having one that shortens it. So I don't know. I'm kind of hit or miss on the cup holders, but that's such a stupid small thing. The other thing, sometimes it feels like when I'm not in N mode, that the throttle response is lacking when I go to take off sometimes, like meaning I have to press on the gas quite a bit or more than I typically do to get the car to go and to not stall the car. That might just be breaking in the car. It's also freaking cold outside, so I don't know. If you guys notice something like that, let me know. The other thing, the infotainment is fine. It's responsive, it's good. You know, I actually like the Golf R infotainment, even though a lot of people don't, but I actually thought it was really good. This is great. You have ambient lighting, you have a lot of different gauge displays. I will say the menu, there's a lot of icons and a lot of options. When I first tried to change the ambient lighting in this car, it took me quite a hot minute to figure out where that's at. There's a lot of buttons, a lot of different things within the infotainment. I think it could be simplified a little bit more, but give me more time with the car and I will give you guys a review around it. But overall, I'm really enjoying this car. I think it's a phenomenal daily driver. I think you get great power, you get great amenities. I will see over time how it goes, but I'm only 500 miles into it. Hopefully the next video, hopefully I can crack over the 600-mile break-in period on the next video, and we're gonna let her rip, tater chip. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If I left something off of here or something you guys would like to learn or know more about, please let me know. I'm Austin, this is Gone in 60, and we will catch you on the next video.